Has anyone ever caused a single beauty mark to force everyone in America to pause and stare? It was Cindy Crawford. However, beneath that perfect exterior lay a heart that had been broken numerous times. She lived a vibrant life, loved intensely, and fell deeply into sad relationships. Few people really know Cindy's private life, which is a tale of highs and lows, quiet romances, and rare private images with some of the biggest celebrities in Hollywood. Everything is just waiting to be discovered. Don't pass on the opportunity to see a new Cindy. Emotional, vulnerable, and unquestionably genuine. Just in this particular video. In 1966, Cynthia Ann Crawford was born in Dalb, Illinois. She didn't dream of being famous as a child. Cindy was just a girl from a small village who had a skill that she was unaware of and lovely eyes. At 16, fate knocked. She was working on a corn farm when a local photographer came to spot her and wanted to take her shot. Everything changed once the picture appeared in the local newspaper. Her phone continued to ring. People wanted to drag her out of DeKalb, meet her, and sign her. Shortly thereafter, Cindy took a risk. She left her college scholarship behind. It was a risky move for a girl from the Midwest at the time. She entered the world of fashion with unwavering resolve and wide-eyed trepidation. Cindy arrived at castings in the early 1980s with an unmistakable attractiveness. Her form was naturally seductive. She had the famous mole above her lip, and she smiled sharply and confidently. Many began referring to her as Baby Gia, implying that she was a younger incarnation of the renowned supermodel Gia Karanji. But the reality was obvious to anyone who actually listened. No one was like Cindy. She had a unique combination of strong beauty and keen intelligence. She was the type of woman that made men swoon and journalists uneasy with her easy intelligence in every interview. She was skilled at using her attractiveness as a strength rather than a weapon. However, as Cindy's career took off, people couldn't stop speculating about her romantic life. She dated the attractive basketball team captain, Bill Cords, in 1982 while she was still a high school student. They were the quintessential adolescent couple, photogenic, well-liked, and even chosen as prom king and queen. Before modeling took Cindy away from her little village and caused their paths to diverge, their 6 years together seemed to go on forever. Cindy Crawford was all over the place by 1987. Elle Cosmopolitan, Vogue. She wanted to be on the cover of every magazine. The fashion industry realized they were seeing the emergence of a future supermodel when she became a phenomenon. She then stunned the business at the age of 20 by posing naked for Playboy under the famous photographer Herb Ritz's camera. There was more to the shoot than just a disturbance. Her ranking at number 5 on the list of the 100 sexiest stars of the 20th century solidified her position in history. And that was just the start. Hollywood then came into her life. Cindy first met the well-known actor with the effortlessly alluring gray hair Richard Gere at a backyard barbecue in Los Angeles in 1988. Even though he was 17 years older, the age difference vanished very immediately when they struck up a conversation. An unanticipated bond developed between a young woman entering maturity and an experienced man. Even though Cindy was only 22, being with Richard made her mature rapidly. Every action and every remark had to be carefully considered in light of the press's close scrutiny. The two then secretly got married in December 1991. A brief ceremony with aluminum foil rings took place at the Little Church of the West in Las Vegas. There was no grandiose media announcement. Richard Gere and Cindy Crawford were considered Hollywood's ideal couple for a while. Exquisite, refined, and impenetrable. The public thought the two celebrities were meant to be together, and People magazine even dubbed them the sexiest couple of 1993. However, the fissures beneath the glitter became more visible the closer they stood to the spotlight. Cindy's career was at its height at that time. She secured million-dollar contracts, walked every major runway, starred on every billboard, and became the face of a whole generation that was fascinated with fashion. She was become a full-fledged pop culture icon by MTV's House of Style. But Richard Gere was not like that. He achieved fame in a more subdued and private manner. Richard withdrew farther into his own world as Cindy rose higher, and a silent gap progressively developed between them. Cindy freely acknowledged years later that you have to change who you are to accommodate the other person when you're young and in love. Out of dread of losing them, not because they are compatible. Are you a baseball fan? Yes, I can enjoy baseball. Are you interested in Tibetan Buddhism? She remembered, well, maybe I'm into that too. Her attempt to fit in with his life, rather than genuine harmony, was what held them together. However, that brittle bridge finally collapsed in 1994. Cindy clarified that because of their disparate ages and levels of authority, they were never true friends or equals. He was Richard Gere, someone who was adored from below rather than someone you stood next to as an equal partner, and she was too young. Hollywood, meantime, was whispering its own tales. According to one dramatic tale, Cindy and fellow supermodel Christy Turlington had a covert romance. Even a picture of the two sharing a kiss outside a nightclub in New York was taken by paparazzi. Although neither Christy nor Cindy ever verified it, the picture drove tabloids into a frenzy. Cindy and Richard's marriage was formally over by 1995. As a freshly single woman, she concluded the first chapter of her romantic life and emerged stronger, more self-reliant, and more alluring than before. Cindy's audacious "I'd rather go naked than wear fur" PETA campaign rocked the world that same year. The powerful pictures did more than just solidify her position. They turned her into a brand new idol, unafraid to question the status quo, fearless and free. Rumors about her romantic life kept the American media in a frenzy in addition to her blazing public image. She was seen with actor John Enos III in a limousine in August 1994. Images that leaked before to her and Richard Gere's divorce announcement fueled rumors that were already raging. Rumor had it that Cindy was seeing Jon Stewart a month later, when he was still a little-known comedian before he became the famous host of The Daily Show. At an award presentation, the two were seen strolling hand in hand, which sparked a lot of rumors. Ultimately, though, it was only a fleeting affair that was too short to be a true chapter in her life. There was yet more noise. Cindy was caught up in yet another round of romance rumors in 1995. This time, it was John F. Kennedy Jr., the Prince of America and the guy who made half of the nation's ladies swoon. The public was further persuaded that there was more than just friendship between them when they spent some time together, and Cindy even made an appearance on the cover of a magazine under his supervision. In a radio appearance the same year, NBA great Shaquille O'Neal stirred things up once more. Shaq brought up Cindy Crawford when asked which celebs he has slept with. The press didn't waste any time, even though Cindy denied it right away and no solid proof ever came to light. Cindy allegedly went to Shaq's house, had supper made by his personal chef, drank champagne, and stayed the night, according to an unnamed source. These tales, whether accurate or not, presented Cindy Crawford in a different light. Not only was she the most beautiful supermodel of the 90s, but she was also the subject of whispered discussions all the time. One of Cindy's charms was her constant curiosity, which led people to write about her as if she were a living legend. Following their brief but tumultuous romances, Cindy's private life began a new brief and tumultuous phase. Actor Val Kilmer this time. March 1996 was the month. Under the watchful eye of Hollywood, the two met and dated covertly for 3 months. Although it looked like things might work out, Cindy's appearance in a single bar commercial was enough to start a fight. The thought of the woman next to him appearing so brazenly in public was too much for Val to handle. And their barely developing relationship terminated abruptly as a result of that argument. Cindy became acutely aware that her heart had already started to lean in the direction of someone who had been living on the periphery of her life when that door closed. Gerber Randa. Randa didn't enter Cindy's world with red carpet commotion or camera flashes. In addition to being a businessman and a former model, he was also someone who knew Cindy's world. At her manager's wedding in the early 1990s, they first crossed paths. Randa was in a relationship of his own at the time, and Cindy was Richard Gere's wife. Their emotions remained hidden behind looks, the kind of feeling that lingers in the eyes but cannot be expressed. The quiet interlude, a silent, nameless, and unspoiled relationship. However, time has a way of organizing things. There was no longer any justification for the difference between Cindy and Randa once she went back to living alone. Slowly, informal get-togethers evolved into actual dates. After years of simmering in silence, the emotions eventually came to the surface. They got married in secret on Paradise Island in the Bahamas in 1998. Just 90 close friends and family members were present when Cindy got married for the first time. There were no photographers or reporters waiting outside. The man she genuinely referred to as my best buddy was not a Hollywood icon. Following the nuptials, they established a steady yet glittering life together. Randa prospered in the nightclub and tequila industry, while Cindy kept walking the catwalks until the early 2000s. They gradually transformed their union into a family, and their family into a well-known brand. Kyle was born after Presley, their first child. Growing up in the spotlight of the fashion industry, Kaya soon established herself as a highly sought-after face, carrying on Cindy's tradition. Cindy's appeal to the public never diminished, even as she became a mother. She caused a stir in Hollywood once more in 1998 when she posed nude for Playboy. Gorgeous, fearless, and completely in charge, she proved that time could never dull a true star when she made an appearance at the Super Bowl 2 years later, reenacting her famous Pepsi commercial while wearing denim shorts and a white tank top. Then, as if destiny had one last thing in store, Princess Diana invited Cindy, Naomi Campbell, and Christy Turlington to Buckingham Palace, knowing that young Prince William had a major crush on Cindy. One of Cindy's favorite recollections was seeing the bashful little prince blush in front of his supermodel hero. Cindy Crawford celebrated her 50th birthday in 2015 with grace. The beauty that made the 9S go crazy wasn't all she kept. Her beauty was softer, gentler, and perhaps more captivating because of the depth and maturity she held. Cindy preferred to embrace the spotlight, in contrast to many other supermodels of her time. She allowed the light to still beam on her while she stood motionless in the storm's eye. This time, though, it was a light that she had personally selected. Cindy frequently shocked audiences in interviews by discussing sex, the body, and individual freedom. No defensiveness, no deflecting. She spoke with the serenity of someone who has experienced every noise that celebrity could produce and knew exactly what was important. She once recalls receiving messages from women accusing her of being anti-feminist after posing for Playboy. For her, feminism was never about whether or not one poses nude, Cindy added with a simple smile. It was about a woman's freedom to decide how, when, and where her body shows up. She published her book, Becoming, just before her 50th birthday. It wasn't an attempt to reveal her past or a confession. The book was like a fogged mirror. It was deliberately obscured in parts where she wanted to keep things private, but it was clear enough for those who loved her to see the lengthy journey from a Midwestern girl to a worldwide icon. When questioned about the old rumors, the celebrities she was associated with, the scandalous pictures tabloids uncovered, or the behind-the-scenes tales gossip columns wouldn't let up, Cindy's responses were always disarmingly humorous. She once remarked, half-jokingly, "I think people paid more attention to my boobs than to how long I was actually on camera." Once causing the world to shudder, the beauty had now calmly become confident. The sort that results from seeing your value without having to cling to your former grandeur or flee from it. Cindy Crawford left her opulent Trousel Estates property for the final time in August 2021, amid the dazzling sunlight of Beverly Hills. She sold the $13.5 million house she and her husband, businessman Randa Gerber, had occupied for many years. However, the occasion represented more than just a real estate deal. Reflecting on her past, recognizing her present, and redefining her future, it was a pivotal moment in her life. A few months later, Cindy replicated her famous 1992 Pepsi commercial to collect money for the Children's Hospital in Madison, Wisconsin, where her younger brother Jeff had received treatment for leukemia before dying at the age of 3. This wasn't an attempt to reclaim her former celebrity. Cindy is far less common on runways these days. However, she continues to be a cover star far into her mid-50s and the face of major high-end campaigns. More significantly, she has emerged as an inspiration, candidly discussing the loss in her family, how she manages to balance work and home life, and her support of teenage mental health, particularly via the tale of her son. Cindy would rather be known as the lady who never forgot her roots and who always knew who she was living for, even though people may remember